Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. So to kick off today's video, I'm going to start out by doing a little bit of an unboxing of some items that I got from Born Pretty. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and open up this Jelly Gel Polish set in the color Sea Glass. So as you can see, this collection comes with 6 different colors. Let's go ahead and start swatching. So first we have a nice jelly green. So just straight off the bat, I really do like this color. However, I will say that it is very sheer and very hard to tell like if you actually put anything on the nail, especially if there isn't a base color. So here you can see that even on the first layer, it doesn't really look like much, which is pretty sad, but you know, you can always build it up if you really do want that color. But I did just want to mention that because obviously for some people, it's not really realistic to add 2, 3, 4 layers just to get some color to pop up. So yeah, just wanted to add that in. Next up, we have this really nice jelly red. And our third color is a jelly yellow. So this color here is your standard orange. And next we have what I would consider an ocean blue. And last but not least, we have a jelly pink. So next I have this metal painting gel, and this is supposed to be extra shiny, even more shiny than the one that I did have from them before. So I decided to do a side-by-side comparison. So right now I'm swatching the original metallic painting gel that they sent me. And as you can see, it is definitely a little bit more on the grainy side and a little bit more shimmery than it is mirrored looking. Now it most definitely still has potential to be a very good metallic drawing gel, but I really wanted to see how it looked up against the newer, more shiny one, and there is a big difference. In my opinion, at least, there's a big difference. Now, I feel like on camera, it definitely doesn't look as extreme as it is in person, but it definitely does have a very much like smoother appearance, and it doesn't look nearly as shimmery or glittery as the last one. And upon using the new one, I definitely realized that my first metallic painting gel has a pretty strong scent that I didn't realize when I first tried it out in one of my previous videos. Like back then, I had never used any other painting gel before, especially not a chrome painting gel, so I kind of just assumed that they all smelled like that. But I definitely did notice that the new one doesn't have a smell like nearly as strong as that one, so that's kind of a plus. So we have all of the colors nice and swatched out, and as you can see, we have a good assortment of colors to work with today. We're definitely going to be doing something very colorful. But before we get into today's nail set, I do want to give a huge thank you to Born Pretty for sending me these colors. But other than that, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So here are what my natural nails are looking like, and as you can see, I already went ahead in with my matte peel off base coat, and I did go ahead and size out my nail tips for today. And to cure on these nail tips, I'm going to be using some base coat. So because the pinky was a little bit too short, I actually ended up double tipping, and I did cut off maybe about half of the nail tip first before I glued it on. Afterwards, I tried my best to cut down the sides and make it match the original tip. Now, even though it doesn't necessarily have to be super perfect at this step, I do recommend at least bringing in the sides a little bit, because trying to bring it in after application is just a little bit more difficult. And of course, doing it at this step just helps to save a little bit of energy for later on in the video. So as you can see now, I'm going over all of my nail tips with a layer of base coat before I go ahead and jump into my application. So for today's application, I will be going in with a milk white for the base of all of my nails, just to keep it nice and simple. I was actually considering doing these nails either nude or clear, because I really wanted those colors to stand out. But considering how sheer these colors were, I really think that using this white was probably the best idea, because it is the brightest base color that I do have, and I feel like it would make the color stand out just a little bit more. But with that out of the way, I did kind of want to talk about why this video is going to be like a full-on like voiceover video. And as you guys know, I haven't really done a video like this in a very long time, because I feel like talking during the video is a little bit more personable, and I can kind of show you exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it, instead of like doing a voiceover and trying to like hurry up and make my words match with my actions, because that can be kind of difficult sometimes. But anyways, the reason why I'm doing this as a voiceover video is because, to be honest, it is so much easier to kind of just sit down and chill out and do nails, because I feel like when I'm talking during the video, it's honestly just me being distracted the whole time, because I don't know how to stop talking sometimes. Like sometimes I just talk and talk and talk. And as I become more comfortable in front of the camera, especially since I've adapted to this new like talking during the video thing like kind of a few months ago, like I'm more comfortable. And so I feel more inclined to talk more and be more like personable and kind of connect with you guys more and let you guys know more about like my personality. And sometimes that's just too distracting. Like I need to get straight to the point and I need to get to work. You know what I'm saying? Now, this isn't me saying that I'm gonna get like back into my voiceover videos, because to be honest, I don't really like doing them too often, because again, I'm trying to like make sure that my pacing is correct, and that in itself is just a lot. And I do like talking during my videos because I feel more like a human being, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's not me saying that I'm gonna switch fully over back into this, but I do feel like sometimes I need to actually just sit down and chill out and focus solely on doing my nails so that like I can get the best outcome. I don't know if that's really making sense, but I think you get my point. Anyways, another reason why I'm kind of like not talking during the video is because I was filming during the day when I made this video, and typically during the day it's pretty loud and not a good environment to like talk during the video, especially since I live in a house with like 6 other people and a little dog at that, that's like super territorial, so he barks a lot. And of course I have little siblings, so they are, you know, playing around the house. It's summer, so they're going to be loud. They're going to be extra and wild and run throughout the hallways. So I don't feel like it was the best opportunity for me to actually talk. But anyways, this wasn't really what I wanted to talk about during the application portion. I really wanted to mention that like I'm really trying my hardest to change my sleep schedule around because like I said, I film this during the day and I typically film after like 11:30 because that's when it's like finally quiet in the house. But honestly, I think it's definitely starting to take a toll on me because I can't even like sleep at like normal human hours anymore. Like literally, if I go to sleep anytime before 5 a.m., I will wake up in a few hours and I won't be able to go to sleep like at all that night. So I really want to try and get my sleep schedule together. But to be honest, I really do think that I have some sort of sleep issue, like meds don't work. I might just have to like see a doctor about it. I don't know. But it's just like really not great. But yeah, I definitely want to get a handle on that very soon because if I can film during the day, then I can also edit during the day and I can get my videos out a lot sooner. And I feel like that would be better for me to edit during the day because I'm more like my brain is functioning better. I don't know. But anyways, that turned into a much longer conversation that I wasn't even planning on having. But I will just go ahead and let you guys watch the rest of this application. I do just have my pinky left because I did end up doing my thumbnail off camera for a short or like a reel or TikTok, but unfortunately the footage of me doing my thumbnail for that TikTok just did not work and it was like really crappy, so I kind of just did my thumbnail off camera for no reason. But anyways, I will let you watch the rest of this application and after that we'll go ahead and move straight into the shaping and filing process. So as always, I'm going to start out by using my 8080 grit nail file to file the sidewalls and the undersides of my nails first. There is no specific reason as to why I do this first. It's just kind of something that I do out of habit. Next, I'm going to go in with this medium carbide bit to seal my cuticles. And of course, for this part, you can use whatever you feel most comfortable with. You don't have to use a carbide bit. In fact, you don't even have to use a drill. You can just go in with a hand file if you feel like that is what works best for you. But for today, I'm going to be using my carbide bit. And now I'm going back in with my hand file just to completely file over the surface of the nails. And lastly, I'm going in with my mini buffer just to completely smooth out the surface. So I went ahead and washed my hands, and now we are ready to move on to the nail art. So I'm first starting out by putting all of those 6 colors onto my mixing plate just to go ahead and get us started. And before we do anything, I'm going to wipe off my nails with some isopropyl alcohol. So to start the nail art, I'm going to be using this double-sided nail brush, and I'm just going to be applying the colors kind of randomly on top of the nail. And I will be doing this in layers to make sure that I build up the color. Now, you won't be able to tell exactly like at this moment that I'm saying this, but some of the colors are a lot more pigmented than others. So for example, this red is a lot more pigmented than the other colors. So is the blue. And that kind of made it a little bit tricky to kind of get the same level of color for all of the colors. So I did have to go in with a few different layers for different types of colors to make sure that everything looked nice and like it had the same type of like saturation, if that makes sense. So here, as you can see, I'm just using this end of the brush to kind of apply the color, and I'm using the sort of like line art side to feather it out as best as I can. In hindsight, I definitely do think that I should have just like maybe gotten one of those like ombre brushes, the ones that have like little spaces in between. But of course, hindsight is 2020, and I really didn't think that I would need it because I figured I could just, you know, make my way with what I had. Now, this is a random side note, but I feel like a lot of the times I will do methods that are not really conventional, or it's not the proper way to do it because either I don't have the product that you need to do it the right way, or I literally just don't know what I'm doing. Because a lot of times when I do nails, I kind of just play around and see what I like and see what I don't like, and that's how I learn for myself. But I feel like when I do that, sometimes some people will get a little bit worked up, and I do just want to remind you that I'm just a normal girl in my room. Like, that's literally it. I'm not a licensed or certified nail tech by any means, and I'm just having fun. Like, most of these videos are just for your entertainment. I don't really like to do educational or like how-to videos. Like, I definitely don't mind showing you guys how I do something in specific, but showing you guys how to do something in a professional setting or showing you how to do something that is similar or close to what a professional nail tech would do is not something that I ever feel like I have the grounds to stand on unless I am certified or licensed myself. So yeah, these videos are for entertainment purposes only, and if you can grab some tips here and there, that's perfectly fine, but this is not a tutorial channel by any means. So yeah. Now, one thing that I will mention is that I love watching like non-professional nail techs do nails, because you learn so many different like nail hacks and workarounds for all of these different things, and it's like, wow, like I never thought of that, but like I might try that. And just overall, I am really enjoying seeing how the nail community is continuing to flourish. Like, I remember the big boom in 2020, and you would think that by now it's like died down, but people are still like doing nails, and you have more and more nail techs like coming out, and we continue to learn so much about nails, and we're setting new trends, and I just really love to see it. Like, it just makes me excited. I don't know. But anyway, enough of me talking about nothing. I'm still going in with those 6 colors and kind of placing them randomly on the nail. So for my first index finger, I kind of added every single color, but for the other nails, I did select maybe only a few colors because I didn't want all of them to be super colorful. But if you want your nails to be colorful, then definitely go for it. I feel like this nail set could work well with pretty much any color combination you can think of. But I am just gonna go ahead and finish applying these colors, and I'll come back in just a bit. So after I have all of the colors on, I am going to go in with a single layer of some top coat because I will be going in with a pearl powder. And after I finished applying it, I did wipe down the sides and cure for a full 60 seconds. Now for today, I did decide to go for the purple pearly powder kind of color, and to be honest, I feel like any color could work with this because this is such a colorful set. So you pretty much have all of these colors in the set already, but I did decide to go for a purple and I really did like the outcome. Like the purple shimmer was so pretty. So now we are finally on to the actual nail art portion of this video. And I do just want to say that I was greatly inspired by 404 Masked over on Instagram. And I actually took inspiration from about 3 different sets that they have on their Instagram page. And to be honest, I think that it comes together very, very nicely. So for my index finger, I'm starting off by using a little bit of rhinestone glue to create a column of rings going all the way down the nail. And of course, I do make sure to kind of build it up in some areas to give it a little bit of texture, because I feel like there is a lot of texture in a lot of their sets, especially the ones that I have seen. They are super textured and really lumpy and bumpy, and I don't know, like I live for that look. Like it just looks so nice. Now if you can't tell, I am actually drawing a heart on my middle finger, and unfortunately the lighting really does not make it much more easy to see, but I am kind of doing like the same lumpy and bumpy style, but it is going to be in the shape of a heart. And for my pinky, I am doing, of course, the same lumpy and bumpy texture to create a swirl down the center of the nail. One little tip that I did kind of learn while I was doing this is to, instead of smoothing it onto the area that you want it, try tapping it on, and because it's so sticky, it'll start to create lumps and bumps just naturally. And after I have the first layer for those 3 nails, I am of course going back in with a second and I believe even a third layer to go ahead and build up texture. And again, instead of laying it nice and neat on top of the previous layer, I am making sure to tap it onto the surface. And now we are finally onto my favorite part, and we're going to be going over those rhinestone glue like sections, and we're going to be going over that with this painting gel. Now this is really what made this set come alive, and I'm so glad that they have a more like mirrored formula, because I feel like if I use the one that I did have, it wouldn't be as extra and just in your face as I wanted it. So I really did love this part, and as you can see, I am in no way putting this on super neat and nice. I want it to look rough and ragged and just textured as much as I can get it, because that is like really what makes this set that set, you know what I'm saying? Like that just makes it look so much better. But anyways, after I finish that section, I'm just gonna go ahead and cure that for 30 seconds. After I completed the index finger, I'm going to do the exact same thing with my middle finger and my pinky. And while I am applying it, like I said, I am doing it kind of rough and ragged, and I'm making sure to not go over every single piece of rhinestone glue, and to also kind of go outside the lines a little bit to make it look even more rough. Okay, so now we are on to the ring finger, and to be honest, this is the most difficult nail in this entire nail set, because for one, the metal painting gel is very slippery, so it's not very easy to get like super smooth lines. And as you saw in the beginning, I tried to use my long nail art brush, but for some reason it was just bent up, and I still tried to use it, but I eventually switched back to my medium nail art brush. So this is going to be a little bit kind of weird to kind of explain to you, but basically what I did is I created a sort of section in the middle of my nail so that I could kind of draw some circles inside and try and make it look kind of slimy, because that's kind of what I was thinking of. Like, yeah, it kind of just looks like slime or like a goo of some sort. So yeah, that is what I'm doing here. And again, I'm sorry if that's a terrible explanation, but you kind of just have to do it in order to kind of understand what I'm doing. And this goes without mentioning, but while you are doing this, take your time, because you don't want to rush this, especially since you're doing round shapes and this product is already slippery enough. You don't want to mess around and move too quick and ruin the entire thing and have to do it all over again. And as I mentioned earlier, the same thing that I did on my index finger and my middle finger is what I'm going to be doing on my pinky. Here, I'm going to go in with some rhinestone glue to create some bubbles in the middle of those circular sections. Now, this part was kind of last minute, but I did decide to go in and draw some stars, and then later on I'm going to go in with some pink gems just for the center of the star. And because this set is very much chrome inspired, you already know that I'm going to be using some chrome beads. I feel like it just goes together. So yeah, I'm going to be adding some of those chrome beads here and there just to give it a little bit of interest. And like I mentioned not too long ago, I'm going to go in with some pink gems for the center of those stars. All right, and lastly, we are finishing off with a single layer of top coat. So like I mentioned earlier, I did end up doing my thumbnail off camera for a reel, but of course that didn't work out. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this off with a little bit of cuticle oil. And that completes today's set. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this one. I had so much fun doing this nail set, and I mean that. Like, it was a lot of work, but it was definitely fun, and I definitely do love the outcome. I feel like it's definitely appropriate for any season because it doesn't have like any summer, winter, fall, or spring vibes. So yeah. Overall, I really do like the products that I got sent from Born Pretty, especially the mirror painting gel, because that was like a lifesaver. Like, I feel like the set would be literally nothing if I didn't have that. As for the jelly gel polishes, I do think that they are redeemable if you're willing to go in with multiple layers to build up the color. And so I would definitely say that they are worth it for some, but definitely not everyone. Like, for some, it may be a little bit too impractical and you may want to go with something that's a little bit more opaque. But even still, I was not expecting this outcome, like at all. I didn't have a lot of faith in this nail set or me being able to recreate it the way that I envisioned myself recreating it. But of course, I would love to hear what you guys think of this nail set down in the comments. I do just want to give a huge thank you to Born Pretty for sending me these products. As always, I'm super appreciative. But as always, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will see you guys in the next one.